Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Put the Face here on YouTube. Also on all your favorite podcast players. I'm Chris Rucker along with E.J. Reed, and we are back to talk about the world of professional wrestling. What's happening, E.J.?
Not much. Holiday season in full effect, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Haven't been working like a week and a half, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's time off been?
It's been good. I was in pain last week, but this week has been kind of. I'm sure they could send me back to work now if they wanted to, but they're just being cautious, so I probably won't go back until Monday. But the knee feels a lot better. I can move on it. I still can't like run or jump, stuff like that. But I've been walking on it a lot. I think we did 2.5 mile walk yesterday.
Okay.
Which we do, every Monday. We go for a walk. So yeah, we did that and been feeling a lot better. So excited about not being in pain. I've been able to sleep the last couple of nights, which is a good thing. It's crazy though, right? Because like Friday before last was the most pain I was in, that Friday and Saturday. And by the time Monday rolled around, when I actually went to therapy, it was like half of that pain. And by the time Thursday came around, when I went to Colorado, the only time it really hurt is on the plane when I couldn't like straighten my leg out.
Mm-hmm.
And then walking around Colorado and all the snow and shit, like it didn't give me a lot of trouble. But yeah, now it's just like no pain. It's just I can feel the weakness in it. Just getting old, I guess.
Hey, man. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, I was going to ask, how was Colorado?
It was a lot of fun. I didn't ski. We flew in Thursday night, rented a Jeep Wrangler, and drove 2 hours to Copper Mountain from Denver. We had to stop halfway through so my girlfriend could get all her ski clothes. Like they gave her pants, they gave her a jacket, little gaither, goggles, gloves, like everything you needed to stay warm up there. She rented it. They left it in a little lockbox. We literally pulled off on the side of a mountain, and there was a little box right there with a code in it. She got her bag. We continued up the mountain. EJ, when I tell you these people in Colorado do not give a fuck about the steepness of the hills that when you're going up a mountain, you go up and you go down. You're going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But we're climbing. It's snowing. The roads are kind of slippery. These motherfuckers are almost running me off the road. They're going so fast. Like, they're driving through these mountains so fucking. I'm just like, I'm doing 55. Like, I'm not about to get found on the side of the road somewhere in the middle of the snow. But they just were flying through there. And then we got there late that night, checked in, and the next day I went and worked out while she was getting her ski lesson. And like halfway through my workout, I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. Like, what is going on? She goes to ski. Skiing's done at 4:00. We go get something to eat, maybe at like 6:30. We both are just fucking worn out, tired. Come back. We're laying in bed at like 7:00. My heart rate's at like a 120. I'm like, am I having a fucking heart attack? Like, why can't I get my heart rate down? I start looking shit up. And apparently altitude sickness is a real thing. Like Marty and Joey DeLorme, shout out to them, by the way. I hung out with them. Both told me, like, you got to drink a lot of water while you're up there because the altitude will fuck with you. And I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. Apparently I was dehydrated and the altitude was kicking my ass because the next day, as soon as we came off the mountain and got back down to Denver, like within an hour, I felt better.
Yeah, shit is real. You know, that's why they say when those away teams go to Denver to play, it affects them tremendously. Like people don't realize it until they're in it. So
Denver itself didn't affect me. Denver's 4,000 feet above sea level, I think. But when we got to Copper Mountain, it was like 9,500, 10,000 feet above. And that shit like kicked my ass. Luckily, it didn't bother my girlfriend. She was able to ski. But even if I would have been skiing, I don't think I would have been able to because I couldn't fucking breathe. Just like doing normal shit, like walking up the steps, I'd get up to the top of the steps and just be like, I legit thought I was about to have a heart attack. I was like, am I about to die up here? Then I realized, like, nah, it's fucking the altitude's kicking my ass. So I didn't drink nearly as much as I wanted to. But
yeah, that's crazy work right there. And you said she was with a relative or a friend. I remember you mentioned it maybe last show. She was skiing with a relative or a friend, right?
no, she got a lesson
Oh,
and then she fucking went up the thing by herself and the fucking beginner quote unquote slope that they put her on, that shit didn't look like no fucking beginner slope to me. That motherfucker was up there. She came around the corner. I said, "Oh my god, I know that ain't who I think it is."
man. If you wasn't hurt, you would have probably skied up too.
I probably would have tried.
Yeah, man. Next time when you're healthy, it's fun, man. I hadn't been it since 2018, but yeah, we were on the slopes, tearing it up. I can't, where we go? Oh, we went to Lake Tahoe. That's where the last time I skied. It was fun. And when I went back then, I was 28, 6 years ago now. Before that, we had a ski trip, and I may have went one more time in between. Then I either went twice when I was living in California or once, but we definitely went on our junior class trip. Was 2004, and yeah, my friend, he was just, they teach you how to weave in and weave out when you do the lessons. He was just going straight full ahead down the mountain, no weaving in. He ran into like an 8-year-old, and he
Oh
got in
no.
trouble. They kicked him off the mountain. Either he had to go to like skiing jail, or they had to. I think they made him do like a little class, like a safety class, after he did that, because like the little kid's dad was like yelling at him, getting into it with him. It was bad. And then
Yeah. Those
me
little
and my
kids out
friend
there
Mark,
skiing their ass.
exactly, exactly. And yeah, I was gonna say, me and my friend Mark, we went down a Black Diamond Mountain, which was a mistake because we were like, all right, we got the hang of this. We were going down the greens and the blues, and then we went down the black. That's a whole different story. Like we didn't stand up. Like it was parts of the mountain that we literally had to sit on our ass and scoot down, or we would have died. We thought we were hot shit because we were able to do the intermediate in the beginning. Nope, not when we got to that Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
man.
mountains are, that shit's crazy when you get out there and look at it. You're looking at the map and we saw the coolest shit too. So Copper Mountain, they're doing the owner of it, he's bringing like the X Games and shit out there, right? So they're doing all that kind of stuff out there. So we're walking through the little city at night and we're going to dinner and we look up and you know the mountain's right there, but it's pitch black except for these two spots. There's these big ass lights and there's these big ass machines and they're literally building these big fucking walls of snow like a tunnel almost, and they're just going straight up, excuse me, in the dark, but they got the spotlights and it's like it's hard to explain. I wish I would have took a picture of it, but it was one of the craziest fucking things I'd ever seen because you could just see how much fucking snow that it was, and the machines are just like going through smoothing it all out, preparing the shit for the X Games the next day, like the half pike and all that kind of shit. It was wild to see in person.
I didn't realize it was that time of year again. X game. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's December.
Where'd you end up meeting Marty and Joey?
I met them right outside of Denver. Um, we stayed. We didn't even go to actual Denver. Besides, the airport, we stayed right on the outskirts of it, and we met up at a place called Waldo's Chicken and Beer, and it was like a little outdoor. I don't want to say shopping mall, but it was just like a bunch of bars, a bunch of stores. Like, how they got these little entertainment districts now where you just park your car and just walk around. You can bar hop, you can shop. Um, so we met there, and the plan was the bar hop, but we all just ended up. Joey's wife, Joey, Marty, myself, and my girlfriend. We all just ended up sitting there for like 3 hours, just talking and drinking. And Joey and his wife ended up having to go home to get the kids, and Marty lived like an hour away, so we didn't really keep him too long either. And then we had a 7 a.m. flight the next morning, so we had to be up at 4:30. So it wasn't like we were trying to stay out late as hell either. But it was a cool little place, inexpensive alcoholic drinks. I bought everybody a round, which I normally don't do, and it was $28.
Dang,
And yeah, a couple beers, a couple cocktails, like $28. I was like, damn, hell yeah. Had a little sassy bartender that liked Marty.
That's funny. Yeah, he was spitting game at Marty.
Nah, he was a little nicer to Marty than he was anybody else.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to OG Boot to the Face host Marty and the Jolly Giant Joey. Where the food was the food good out there?
Yeah, it was really good. At this place that we went to meet up with them, I had like a fried chicken plate, which is just like a big half a chicken that they fried up, and then like mac and cheese and shit like that. And then on the mountain, we stopped at the cafe at the bottom of the hill, which is where I spent most of my time at. We ended up getting like a piece of pizza in there, and it was like $13 for a slice of pizza. And I'm like, what? And then she gives us the slice of pizza, and it's a quarter of a pizza. And I'm like, no wonder it was fucking $13. And then for dinner, we went to this little pub that they got, and we ended up just getting fucking appetizers. Like, we split a pretzel with beer cheese, and then I got poutine, and she got some kind of butternut squash soup with like uh, grilled cheese, because she'd been out in the snow all day. She was fucking cold. So, but yeah, the food was all right. We went to a really good brunch spot called Bacon Social, where my girlfriend got a Bloody Mary flight. So they gave her 3 different kind of Bloody Marys that she got to pick, and it's supposed to be an ounce of vodka in it, but the bartender like hooked her. She was about 1.5 in, she was drunk.
I'd be throwing up 3 times with 3 Blood Mary flights.
Nah,
You know how I feel about the tomato juice, but
yeah, they were different flavors. Like one had gin, one had vodka, one had tequila. One was like a jalapeno tequila. One was like a bacon vodka, and one was I can't remember what the gin flavor was. And then they all like one came with like Gouda cheese and sausage. One came with like bacon, and one came with 3 different kind of peppers. Like it was basically a fucking meal what she had.
that's what's up. What you end up getting for brunch?
I got the little pancake platter, pancake, eggs, bacon, sweet potato waffle fries.
Now, come on. I feel like when you travel to places, you gotta be cliche and like get their specialty. I'm surprised none of y'all got the Colorado omelet.
What's the Colorado omelet?
It's like never had a Colorado omelet. It's got like
No,
everything.
I don't know if you're being nasty or not, because I told her I was gonna give her the Colorado something or another.
I've
But
never heard that innuendo, but I guess I have to
I'm not
Google
gonna
that.
repeat what I told her I was gonna give her, but I don't know if you're trying to be funny or not.
No, I have to Google that innuendo later. Learn something new every day. No, I'm literally talking about the food.
I never heard of that.
They have them at like breakfast spots, like especially like the smaller diners, like all over the country. But I'm thinking it stems from Colorado. It has the onions, the peppers, sausage. It's like almost like a supreme version of a omelet.
I'm a big omelet fan too. I wanted a pancake that day. But usually at a breakfast place, I will get the omelet. So that's kind of fucked up that I didn't even see that on there.
Next time.
There will be a next time because I did like Colorado. I just didn't like Copper Mountain. I can only go 5,000 feet above sea level. I can't go 10. I go 10, it's a wrap. I'll be no fun. And we did for the first time ever. I walked outside in the snow and got in a hot tub.
A
That was a lot.
word?
Yeah, that was fun. You had to go through the gym area. So we left our clothes and shoes and everything in the gym right by the door. Just, bathing suits all. You just walk out in the fucking 10-degree weather with it snowing and get in the hot tub. And it is the best fucking feeling ever.
So how far you said you had to walk through snow?
It was like 20 feet maybe. Like you
That's
literally
not
walk
bad.
out the door. Yeah, you walk out the door and the hot tub's like 20 feet away. Well, we had our flip flops on. I shouldn't say we were barefoot. We did have our flip flops, but it was snowing. And then this lady and her two daughters came out there, so we were talking to them for a minute before we went in. And then some asshole pulled a fire alarm at 5:30 in the morning.
The worst. People have no clue, as I say. Like, what? Is it an accident?
No, somebody pulled it. They said they saw one of the ones they got. Somebody pulled it on purpose, just being an asshole. And so the whole building had to be cleared out. The fire department had to come. We were outside in the cold for like 45 minutes. It was 10 degrees.
Yeah,
It was cold as shit.
That's when like you feel like shit in your toes when it's that cold and shit starts to numb if you stand out there too long. No, thank you. Like I've gotten a little bit too used to cold weather for my liking being out here because I'll go out like 25 degrees if I have to run out and go out and check the mail or take the trash out with like no sleeves on. And I'm like, oh, nothing. Yeah, I'm getting used to it because I hate the cold weather. But yeah, once it gets getting in the teens and tens and single digits, no, thank you.
Yeah, fuck that.
But man, sounds like you had a good trip though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Christmas is coming up. EJ, you done with your Christmas shopping?
I mean, I did everything on Amazon. Really, the adults, I might have talked about this last year on the show. The adults just do Secret Santa, but it's for my mom and dad have 4 grandchildren. So, but one's an adult, which I'm going to graduation in a couple days actually. But still, I don't want him to feel left out. So I bought gifts for the nieces and nephews, and then just have to worry about the Secret Santa for the adults. But I did all that today. It's funny that you mentioned it. Just click the button on Amazon, and there you go. It's all getting shipped.
Hope it gets there in time. I know Amazon they were cutting it close on the shit I ordered like a week ago. I guess it depends on what you order too, if it's eligible for Prime and all that kind of shit. But some of mine, like some stuff for my daughter, it was like it could be here December 23rd. It could be here January 2nd. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, I hate when it does that. But yeah, most of them are supposed to get there this weekend, and then one on Monday. So I'm good.
Yeah, all my Christmas shopping's done. Finally, I just got to put my tree up now. I still haven't done that.
Oh yeah, you still haven't done it's kind of close, ain't it?
My kids aren't here, but like once every other weekend. I'll get it up this weekend before they get here.
I mean, it's about a week left, but
yeah, Christmas is like, I'm kind of over Christmas.
yeah.
Like, it's fugazi.
No, what do you mean?
It's just a fake ass holiday. Like,
I mean,
it's not even about what it's supposed to be about anymore. It's all about like,
yeah.
And I hate to be one of those people like they're commercializing it, blah blah. But I mean, they kind of slutting Christmas out now. Thanksgiving ain't even over. Halloween ain't over. They already want you to go buy all these fucking lights and decorations and all this other bullshit. And people pressure you to decorate. And I don't want to fucking decorate. Fuck you. I'll go look at your lights.
Yeah, and I guess I was trying to be positive and not a Grinch for the show, but no, I'm not a big Christmas guy either. I mean, but I try to be upbeat for the family. Like, I had really big. I mean, it's probably a little different for you because you have kids, you like to see their joy. But
Yeah.
a single guy, it's like Christmas hadn't really been Christmas like that since I was a kid, and just another holiday to me. And like you said, it's more commercialized. And you're supposed to be celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Like you said, it got all commercialized. So it's
My kids
money
aren't
pit.
even that into it anymore. Like, I had to beg them for a fucking Christmas list. Like, do y'all fucking want something? Like, I've asked you like 5 times now. What do you want? And it's just like, oh, I guess I'll do this or that. You know, I don't really care.
Yeah, that's probably how it is going to be for, they're older now, they're teens, so that's what you got to expect now.
Me and my girlfriend don't get each other gifts for like birthdays and Christmas, which, I don't mind that idea. It was actually her idea. She's like, we can go travel. We'll take our money and save it to go on a trip or something like that. So we went to Colorado this time. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, you ain't got to tell me twice if that's
right. So that works, right? Like, I would rather, instead of buying, like, I'm a fucking grown up. Like, I've been a grown up for a long time now. If I want something, I just fucking buy it.
Yeah.
So the other day, she's like, my grandmother wants to know what you want for Christmas. So I'm like, WrestleMania tickets? I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what I want for Christmas. I'm an adult.
Yeah, you're going to get WrestleMania tickets? That's what you should say. No, but yeah, not secret.
Tell her grandmother that, because if her grandmother did that, I'd like never be able to break up with her. No, I'm kidding. Oh my God, we gotta clip that and put it on TikTok so she can see it and leave me.
For sure. But yeah, like we have like a limit, and our limit's been for Secret Santa been the same. We hadn't updated, we hadn't factored in inflation, which we should. It's been $50 limit for Secret Santas the past 12, 13 years or so when we started doing it. So like you said, I buy everything that I want throughout the year. So like we only got a $50 limit. I don't know if you could buy like the things I want for $50. Like you said, WrestleMania tickets or like travel. Like I can't get that with a Secret Santa. So like people have been like putting that Secret Santa stuff in like the group text, and I hadn't put anything yet. So I know whoever picked me is probably mad, but I don't really want anything, man.
My family does the white elephant exchange. So
yeah.
We used to draw names, and then you were supposed to get somebody a $25 gift or whatever. And it's like, besides like a bottle of alcohol, what can you get an adult for $25? You know what I mean? Like, and then they get these little weird ass gifts, and it's just like, and then the white elephant thing started, and so that you know how it is, black families, EJ. Like trying to organize a fucking game like that. Like this turns into like a 3-hour fucking ordeal. All a bunch of yelling and hollering and people not following the rules and shit. And it's just like, God damn it, come on. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I'm just about to take my gift and leave. So yeah, we've done kind of what y'all do. Y'all do Secret Santa, we do the white elephant thing. But we definitely haven't taken up for inflation because ours is still only $25.
See, that's how people do, man. We says 25 is staying 25 and 50.
Right.
Well,
shit, EJ, let's get into some wrestling, man. We had
man.
had a lot going on this past week.
I was about to say you was in Colorado, so I'm sure you had to catch up with some stuff.
Yeah, I watched Saturday night's main event and Collision on the plane.
That's always a good thing. I always download them to my iPad before I fly.
You got to show me how to do that because I always have to use the Wi-Fi, and it's like so fucking frustrating.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about it when we go offline.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. Well, I mean, I'm not flying anywhere for like another 2 months, so I guess it won't matter. But yeah, I always shout out to Delta for the Wi-Fi. Like, I love the fact that they do that because it makes plane rides just so much easier when you can get on the internet. Like, who the fuck wants to raw dog a plane ride?
I don't know anybody who does that. You gotta be a psychopath to do that.
Even like Southwest they don't even have seat back entertainment. Like, if there ain't a TV on the back of my seat, like, I don't want to fly on your plane.
That's a little bit too bougie. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and bite the button and take that what you call it? What's the soul plane?
Spirit?
Yeah, Spirit.
No, I've never flown
or
Spirit.
Frontier.
Frontier is based in fucking Colorado. We drove right by their headquarters.
Shit, you should have gave them the bird because service is terrible.
Yeah. My girlfriend's always like, oh, we could take this flight and Spirit's only like $98. I'm like, no, I'm not doing Spirit. We're doing Delta. It's $250.
Yeah, sometimes when you're in a bind, you might have to do it. If if it's something that you can't pass up, if it's like 150 flight both ways, and you're like, fuck it, man. But I try to avoid Spirit and Frontier at all
Yeah.
costs.
I was looking to go back to Vegas next month, and for whatever reason, tickets are high as shit for Delta. It's like 700. Well, it's like 198 for Spirit, and I sat there with my finger on the button thinking about it. I said, man, I'd rather just not go. I'm not, because the clientele on Spirit also sucks, right? Like you gotta factor that in too. You're gonna be on the plane with these motherfuckers for 4.5 hours. Like, I just, it's always something too. Like somebody's always making a scene. I'm always scared that they're gonna end up making the plane fucking deplane or divert somewhere else because somebody's acting a damn fool. Like I'd rather just. I
So,
hate to sound bougie, but I make too much money to fly on Spirit.
so I think my formula I go by. So it's you got to pay for carry on for Spirit or Frontier. So and it's like $69 each way. So that's like
Right.
150 difference. So if
Mhm.
it's not more than like a 250 difference in the ticket prices, then no, it's not worth it.
That's exactly what I tell my girlfriend too. I'm like, yeah, we could fly Spirit, but then you can only take a backpack, and we're gonna be gone for like 5 days. We both have a carry-on. We're gonna have to pay for that both ways. So now the ticket just quadrupled because taking your bag sometimes costs more than the fucking ticket does.
Exactly. So yeah, I say if it's not like a 250 difference between like the Deltas, the Americans, and the Frontier, then no, I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think I've ever flown American.
Americans dope. I mean, it's not. Have I had any problems with? I mean, no, I've never had any problems with American. They have all the amenities and whatnot. Usually either American or Delta for me. It's been a while since I flown United. Um, United, I've had troubles with in the past. Not in a while, but they canceled a flight and didn't even notify me, and I was at the airport, and I was pissed.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Did you get any kind of like reimbursement?
I don't know what happened. I don't even know if I got reimbursement. This is like via 2021, maybe even late 2020 during the pandemic. I can't remember what happened, but I was pissed.
I've learned now anytime the airport company fucks you over, you just complain about it until they decide to stop giving you stuff. Like last time I flew Spirit with my ex-wife, my flight was delayed by like 4 hours, and I called and complained, and they gave us like a $200 gift card each for our time, which was like more than what the ticket was. But
Nice.
and then one time flying back from Chicago, they canceled our flight after we were at the airport for like 5 hours. This was the very first all in. We were trying
Hmm.
to fly back home, and they canceled our flight, so we had to get in line and go to customer service, and they would hook you up with a hotel and the shuttle service to get over there and rebook your flight. And they're like, "Yeah, you're staying at the like some cheap sleazy hotel," and I was just like, "Are there any other options? Like, are there other hotels?" And she's like, "Yeah, well, we got like the Marriott. We got." I was like, "Oh, I want the fucking Marriott then." Like, so she goes, "Okay," and she does it. And the guy next to me, he hears it, and he had already signed his paper. He goes, "Wait a minute, I want the Marriott." And the lady's like, "Sorry, you already signed for
Too
the
late.
fucking Holiday Inn." Like, he's like, "I didn't know that was a choice." And my ex was
Well,
like, "I'm glad you asked, because that Marriott hotel was fucking nice. We went. They gave us like a $50 food voucher at the bar. We went downstairs, got drunk.
nice.
Yeah." And you
Yeah.
always got to ask questions with these people because they can hook you up. It's just a matter. It's not their job to.
Yeah. It's all about opening your mouth and asking. The only thing they can say is no, right?
Exactly. All right, wrestling. Here we go. This week we had a lot going on. We had developments on NXT. We had some shit go down on Dynamite. WWE had Saturday night's main event, Collision. Just a plethora of things to start with. So let's start with AEW.
Oh, switching it up this time.
Yeah, this week we had the return. We had two returns this week on AEW. The return of MJF and the return of Toni Storm, I think.
Yep. You think I think that was the biggest return.
I mean, She just announced that she's all elite though. Like,
And
what the fuck's
it's
going
fucking
on with her? Does
hilarious.
she
It's
did
hilarious.
Mariah May beat the dog shit out of her and now she like has amnesia?
I think this is gonna be like her little version of Three Faces of Foley. I think she's schizophrenic or multiple personality syndrome. Because when she first came out on Dynamite, I'm like, okay, it's back to the OG Toni Storm. And then what was it? Rampage. I got to go back and look, but I was like halfway paying attention, and announcers said she did some type of mannerism that was, that timeless, but I didn't get to see
She
it.
did it when she gets ready to do the hip attack, and she used to do the little fucking timeless thing like that. She started to do it, and then she was like,
Oh,
put the
that's
popcorn
funny.
up. What the fuck just happened? I got that glow. Did you see that? Oh, you missed it. What just happened? Hold on. Let me see if I can do it again.
Yeah, I saw it. Well,
You are the last dragon.
how'd you do that?
Sorry for y'all listening on audio. You'll have to check it out. Mark the time on your audio and then check it out on YouTube. That was pretty dope.
I don't even know how you did that. And
I don't
kind of
either.
want to know. But yeah,
Bruce Leroy.
hey, the last dragon for all you youngins out there listening. But yeah, and then Collision, it was a squash match, but what she do? Oh, yeah, like you said, she was back there doing the interviews, and like you said, she said she's all elite, and she was introducing to and she was introducing to herself to wrestlers backstage. So I am very intrigued and entertained by how this will play out.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the plan for this is because everybody thought she was just coming back after Mariah May, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna trust the process, but I don't have a lot of trust in the process.
What do you think is gonna happen?
They're gonna fuck it up.
In what aspect? Taking it off Mariah May or not taking it off Mariah May?
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no. This ties in with Jamie Hayter and Willow Nightingale. I know Toni wasn't injured. She just took time off. But if I could tie the two together, Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, who else got hurt? Who else got hurt as the champion?
Then Britt? Did Britt get hurt? I can't remember.
I don't know if she got hurt as the champion, but Julia Hart, just there's a pretty extensive list of people that have had injuries in AEW, and when they come back, it's almost like they get punished for getting injured, like they're not in the same spot that they are. Now Willow and Jamie Hayter had a match to go to the finals of the Dynasty Cup. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
In Japan. Now, I have tickets for AEW 6 days after that, and I don't think there's a way that Jamie Hayter was going to go to Japan and come back to Atlanta. So selfishly, I wanted Willow to win. But to just beat Jamie Hayter the way she did, and then have Jamie get jumped by Julia Hart, it's like, all right, back down to pit. Like, yeah, you technically lost the title before you left, but you wrestled a match injured, so we wouldn't have to have a fucking tournament again. But instead of putting you back where you were, which is at the top of the card, now we're just gonna have people beating you for no reason. And they've done this with several other people too. Like, look at Thunder Rosa. She came back after getting injured for almost 2 years, and she ain't even sniffing a title match.
You said Thunder Rosa?
Yeah.
I think she is kind of sniffing it now.
She is now, but she's been back for over a year.
See, I got mixed feelings on that because, sure, like if you got injured, you don't want to lose your spot, but that's how the game is sometimes. The best ability is availability, and that's what happens when you have a company with a bloated roster. I mean, it's but so many spots that could fill the main event at one time. I mean, I don't know what you could do. What you could do. Let's have like a 5-way dance. I don't know.
Look, no disrespect to Willow Nightingale, because it's well documented. I'm a big Willow fan. She should not be beating Jamie Hayter fair and square in the middle of the ring. Jamie Hayter was the world champion when she left, a dominant world champion when she got hurt. And now she's came back and she's just been fiddling around with fucking Soraya and fucking Harley Cameron, and who was the last feud she had that she won? Penelope Ford. Like, and again, don't get me wrong, I love all of those women, but they're not in the league that Jamie Hayter's in.
I think she'll eventually make her way back up there, 2025. And she's got something going on with Julia Hart, you know. Like I said, not everybody could be challenging for the title. It's only one spot, really. So they probably do, I don't know how well of a job, but they'll probably rotate them in and out. Like you said, Thunder Rosa looks like she's about to get her turn. We just got done with Mina. So, you know, and I'm sure they got the Australia show for the Grand Slam. That's in February. I'm sure it's probably going to be Toni and Mariah. So you still got Toni in the mix. And, you know, people will, you know, make a comment about Willow doing her job and doing her thing this year. So if she would have lost, you would have people on the other side saying something. So damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's true, but I look at it like this. If I'm just watching the show and Jamie Hayter comes back from injury, and when she left, she was the champion. Well, again, she lost the title her last match, but she was injured. Shouldn't she want the title? She hasn't even mentioned it. Julia Hart comes back. She lost the title to who did she fucking lose? Didn't she lose to Willow?
Yeah.
Was it
I
Willow?
can't
No,
remember.
it wasn't.
I can't remember
who it was. Who the hell beat Julia Hart? Anyway,
I think it was wasn't it Anna? Was it Anna?
No,
MJ.
MJ's never won a title.
Oh, who she lost the TBS title to? It was Chris Statlander, wasn't it?
Maybe it might have been Statlander, but like,
And then
shouldn't she
Willow
want revenge on whoever put her out? What's she fucking with Jamie Hayter for? Jamie Hayter had nothing to do with her getting put out. Like, these people get injured and they come back, and it's like they're starting completely over and they're fine with it. It's like when Kofi lost to Brock Lesnar and didn't give a fuck. Like, all right, I'm back to the tag team division. It's like, why should I want you to be world champion when you don't even want to be world champion?
So what I will agree with you on is she should have mentioned it. Because if she would have came back and like, I want the title now, when she came back, the timing was just too soon. She probably would have lost to Mariah. So if she would have just addressed it, be like, I know I've been, you know, injured and off, but I'm gonna make my way back to the title. I'm gonna work my way like you should. I'm not gonna try to cut corners and whatnot, but she should have just addressed it.
Yeah. It's just like, oh well, I'll just fiddle fuck around here in the mid card and not worry about being the best in the world anymore. Like I did what I was gonna do then. And it's like they kind of all do that when they come back from, because they're booked to be that way. And to me, that's dumb booking. Like you said, at least address it. Even if they go to Tony, like, yo, man, I got injured in my title match. That's why I lost. I want a rematch. Tony's like, look, you've been gone for a year and a half. Like, we got all these fucking women that have been here kicking ass. You're going to have to start putting some wins together. I could feel that. But tell me, don't just fucking hang out on Collision and Rampage. Like, come on. Which is what Toni Storm is doing right now. At least hers is a storyline, though. Like, she's crazy. She don't know no better.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But like it's a kind of a clusterfuck. They got a lot of women talent, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So they just got to organize it and figure out the pecking order, kind of, and how they're going to rotate it, make it make sense. But you mentioned another return, MJF. I think I kind of over the MJF thing, man. And he's the most talented, probably character on the roster. But he signed a big deal to, like, he had the perfect opportunity. He's just not really an AEW guy in my eyes. I feel like he's more suited for WWE. He had the perfect opportunity to go on the other side because it's just like you said, it's like I said, it's a big roster, and I don't know when they're gonna be able to rotate him back into the main title scene. So he has to follow around with fucking Undisputed Era, and think that's a waste of talent. It's just, I just think, I said before, I think it would have been, my ideal swap would have been MJF or AJ Styles. I feel like AJ Styles is not really suited for what WWE has in mind right now. I just don't really see what's in store for MJF right now with his character. Like if he blew up the character and did something completely different, then I might be on board. But that's a part of the charm is that asshole character, and I feel like we're just gonna probably see the same old stuff between now and however long contract he signed, and I guess until he could rotate back into the title scene. But Moxley's got that thing on the chokehold for the foreseen future. So, yeah, I don't know how you feel about him.
You took the words right out of my mouth when you said I'm kind of over the MJF thing. That was exactly where I was going. I don't know if it'll ever. I shouldn't say ever. Like, obviously, if he changed up a little bit, he could win me back into being entertained by him. But right now, it's just the same old shit. You know, you come in for a couple months, you make somebody go through all this shit just to wrestle you. You cheat to win, and then you disappear for a couple months. And you come back, and it's the whole same fucking thing again. You start cutting these backstage promos where you do low hanging fruit, and then next thing you know, somebody's got to go through a gauntlet in order to wrestle you. You cheat to win, and then you're gone again. Like, it's just rinse and repeat every fucking time. Like, give me something new.
Yeah, and I was gone, and this is the lazy comparison. I was gone a lot during, the Miz's run, but when I first, started getting back into it, that's when, he did the SmackDown thing and, kind of reignited a flame underneath himself. But like, you've watched the Miz. How was he? Because he's had lows where like he's basically a background character, but able to heat himself up. How was he able to kind of heat himself up in times where he had a low?
He would get involved with like the bigger stars. Like you said, that shit he did with Daniel Bryan, where he like went off script and fucking cut him down. People were like, oh shit. But honestly, the Miz was just anytime they would fucking need to heat him up, they'd give him the Intercontinental title. That's why he's won the fucking thing 5 times.
Yeah, and I don't know if like the international has that same effect. If he already won it once from Will Ospreay. I like that little thing they had when he made it the American Championship, but I don't know if you could go to that bag of tricks. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's gonna have to. He's a creative guy. He's just gonna have to do something to, kind of redefine himself where people will start caring. Especially like you say, when he takes those times off where he's doing movies or whatnot. So I don't know, man.
I wonder if this is just a couple people like us, or if this is the growing perception of MJF now. People are starting to kind of realize, like, this is the same shit over and over again. Or he's just such a big star that whenever he does come back, people are like, I don't give a fuck, it's MJF.
I think I've heard whispers on, other shows and stuff about him doing the same thing, making people jump through hula hoops and gauntlets and whatnot. But I think the thing that kind of killed when he finally can get people to, root against him, he goes away. And then when he comes back, people gonna like naturally kind of want to cheer you, which doesn't do anything good for the heat that you build up. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a hamster wheel type thing with MJF.
And like I said, he's a fucking talented guy.
Yeah, well, one thing he is gonna do, he's gonna wrestle the shit out of Adam Cole when they fight. Like, I came to that realization, I guess 2 years ago, whenever it was, that as much as I don't like MJF and think his act is tired, when that bell rings, that motherfucker can go.
He can wrestle that stuff. I started noticing more so when he finally got the world title and he went with Bryan Danielson. That was almost 2 years ago, like you said. I think it was like January 2023. So yeah, guy could go. So yeah, I mean, hopefully he's mapped himself a kind of plan where he wants to do with 2025, and we'll just have to see how it unravels.
So we talked about Toni Storm returning and MJF returning. We had another return this past week on Impact Wrestling. In the middle of Jordan Grace versus what's my girl's name? I can't think of her name now.
Tasha Steelz?
No,
it was
Jordan
Tasha
Grace
Steelz.
and
it was Mary. from Decay, Rosemary.
Rosemary. I was like, who the fuck is Mary? Rosemary, who was hanging out at the Marriott bar when we were there
Yeah,
in Winston-Salem.
just chilling.
But yeah, Tessa Blanchard comes back and attacks Jordan Grace. Rumors were going all throughout the day that Impact had signed her. They said that Jordan Grace I'm not gonna say threw a fit, but was not wanting to work with her because she remembered her from the last time they were there. And besides the speculated racism that Tessa Blanchard displayed towards a black wrestler, apparently she was a big bully too. I don't know if you saw all the stuff that people were digging up this week, but Tessa had tweeted out a couple years ago, like, women should support other women. And all of these women wrestlers, like, quote tweeted her, like, oh, you mean that time when you used to bully me in the locker room? Is that what you're talking about? And it was just like Isla Dawn and Chelsea Green and Allison Kay and just the three off the top of my head, like, that had accounts of Tessa Blanchard just being a piece of shit. So even with, her saying that she didn't say the magic word that she's accused of saying, she can't really run away from all these people saying she was an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the hire?
Well, and on top of that, when she got fired from TNA, it was because she wouldn't give them the world title back while she was negotiating her contract and basically like tried to hold them up for more money during COVID.
See how that turned out for her.
I'm indifferent on the hire. Like, you know how we feel about Hulk Hogan. We heard Hulk Hogan say what he said. She got accused of saying something. She said she didn't. Other people said she did. Chances are, where there's smoke, there's fire. As far as I know, that's the only time anybody's ever said she was racist in any kind of way. But there's plenty of stories about her just being a piece of shit person. Like, as far as picking on people and shit like that. If the racist stuff is true, then I put her in the same category with Hogan, but I guess we'll never know that. It's just being speculated on. And it's like, who do you believe? You can believe the person that says she said it, or you can believe her that says she didn't say it.
I'm not a fan of the hire. Like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire. People tend to not, especially when it's multiple people. If it's one person, I'm like, all right, it's he said, she said. But there's multiple people saying that you said this deplorable stuff, and most likely you did it.
Right.
And so I'm not all about, cause I don't even like the word, because I don't believe in cancel culture. Because if you did something fucked up, you deserve to have a punishment. So, but I believe in second chances, but you got to own up to your behavior. So going back to Terry, he did no effort of giving a real apology or doing anything to amend what he did. He just basically said, I'm sorry, I got recorded. So if he would have did apologize and be like, all right, I spoke to, these people and I found out what I said was, this, you can't say anything like that. And he did like a real apology to the black community and did his work to like maybe work with some, black organizations. I might have still not been a big Terry fan, but he could have at least been indifferent in my eyes and not fucking with him at all. Like, all right, at least
leaned into it though. Trump.
Yeah, he leaned into it. So like, if you don't even make an effort to try to amend what you did, I say fuck you. Like with Tesla, I hadn't heard apology. Like you said, it might be he said, she said. She's probably leaning on that it didn't get recorded, so there's no proof. But I just own up to it because it's been a reason why she hadn't been hired by a big organization. That's another proof. Like she would have been hired if it was nothing. So it had to be something.
Talented as fuck.
Yeah, so I would just own up to it. Like that was me. I've learned. I've tried to work with these people, and I apologize for some things I said. But yeah,
even if you didn't, just be like, look, I've said some shit. I've done some shit. Like I was a different person back then. I was young. I was stupid. Like I apologize for anybody I offended. I'm trying like to change how I am as a person, and I'll prove it to you. Like I'm not the same fucking person I was 4 years ago because nobody is, right? Like how hard is that?
That's what I'm saying. And then you got assholes like Hogan and her to an extent that hadn't done it, and like, so why should I be hip hip hooray you coming back? Like, no, like you could have stayed away, and no shade on my guy Booker T, but Booker T basically just gave her a pass. Like, y'all shouldn't get on her back. Why not? People could react how they want to react, especially after she hadn't really given a real apology. So
You
I
know,
didn't like Booker T in that part.
Booker T is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But it seems like every time something like this happens, he always says some stupid shit. He was the
Yeah,
first one to be like, well, Hogan's not racist. I've known him forever. Yeah, we wouldn't have. He kind of put me on the map. Blah blah. Man, fuck all that. You heard what he said.
yeah. Of course, he might have been not racist around you because you would have stomped him. Of course, he's not.
And he was trying to make money.
Yeah. So yeah. Like you said, I'm a Booker T fan too. So, but he gotta kind of watch what he said in the future. There's a couple instances now. If you keep doing that, people might think you're cooning a little bit. But I don't
Just
want
a
to get too
tad.
far off track.
You don't think you're moose.
Exactly. Yeah, he was another one that apologized for Tessa Blanchard or gave her a pass or whatever. So
He ain't giving her a pass. He's fucking leaning into it, like telling people to fuck off and don't watch and all that. Because him and her have always been cool. So he's always defended her. And then like he's posting pictures of them hugging and shit. And somebody quote tweeted it with a picture of Samuel L. Jackson holding fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and Django.
that's hilarious, as they should have.
They said these are the kind of vibes Moose giving off.
Yeah, but
Or as people say on the internet, Mooth.
yeah, what is it? Yeah, I could have gone without them hiring her, but it's not like I'm gonna quit watching. I'm still gonna watch, but it is what it is.
She's really good friends with Red Velvet too, which annoys me.
What is you doing, Red Velvet? Come on now.
And you can't tell people who to be friends with. They're like besties.
I'm just maybe cut from a different cloth. Like, like, we got like I can't rock with you if you're not down with the cause with people that look like me. But
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
it is what it is.
Some NXT news. We now know that Trick Williams will defend his title against Obafemi and EJ. I had no idea. Like I knew Trick was big. I didn't realize he was that damn big till he was standing next to Oba.
Hold up, man. Did I miss something? Cause I feel like we did a show last week and they already did the deadline. Did they like square up or something?
Yeah, they squared up on NXT last week. They had a face to face, and then what's the boy's name that
Javon Evans?
He's Native American.
Oh, he got taken out. Match. Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie Thorpe. This fucking guy. He got a world title match, and then told Ava that nobody attacked him. He just didn't want to go through the fucking gauntlet, and he still got his title match. So he faked the attack.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't remember them squaring up. I watched NXT last week, man.
Yeah, they had a segment in the ring. Oba told Trick to his face. He said the only reason there's been a Trick Williams era is because I allowed it to be. Everybody was like, "Damn."
I think I did actually remember that
super villain.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Trick ain't a small guy, 6'4", play wide receiver for my Gamecocks. He's not a small guy.
Receiver? I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought he played DB.
He played wide receiver,
didn't he?
I think he made practice squad, but I don't think he made the final cut. But still a hell of an athlete. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm excited for the match. I just don't. We did talk about last week who we think should and who would win, but that segment last week got me ready for this fucking match. Like, this is gonna be good.
Is it supposed to be on New Year's Evil?
I don't think they announced when it was yet.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to be New Year's Evil. I don't like Trick chances, man. And like I said, I think I mentioned it last week. I don't know if he's ready for the main roster. So maybe if he loses, he'll try to get it back and they could, extend this to Stand and Deliver.
The other thing of note on NXT wrestling last week was Wesley versus Javon Evans. My God, this was a match.
They did wrestle, didn't they?
Wesley cut his hair off.
Oh yeah. Somebody's got a haircut.
Is that what they were chanting?
Nah, that just remind me of The Rock going that big show.
Yeah, this match was crazy. It was good. Javon Evans got the win. Another guy we saw. Well, I don't know if can we say we saw him at WrestleCade? I mean, he wasn't on TV. He just walking around the convention like a fan,
Yeah.
being fucking tall as shit. He's bigger in person than I thought he was.
Yeah,
He looks
he's
like,
tall.
he looks real frail on TV, but in person, like, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's just a civilian because he's not allowed to be there in official capacity. Yeah, I mean, this kid's got upside. I could see a North American title reign for him sometime 2025, mid third quarter, fourth quarter.
Breakout star 2025, maybe, Javon Evans.
Yeah, he's still super young though, so hopefully I don't want to see him rush through the system too quickly. He's like 20 years old. He's got time. Don't rush it.
Let's get into some news, EJ.
Let's get it.
WWE announced that on January 6th, the first show on Netflix will be Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match. Leave all your bloodline at home. I leave mine at home. Let's throw these hands and let's talk about this Ulafala. Winner is the tribal chief, the only tribal chief. Is there a chance in hell that Solo Sikoa wins this match?
With LA Knight say the Ufalafa.
Oh, they're gonna whoop his ass for that.
It seems like a little disrespectful.
I know that's your boy, but I find that to be just a tad bit disrespectful in real life. Like, this really is something that is in their family and shit like that, and you out there making fun and calling names and shit. Maybe that's why you got the title taken off of you. He's got a bad reputation too now.
Yeah, I've heard he's kind of a diva backstage, so to speak. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit. He was toning a line on that, like you said, because it's like an actual thing as far as culture. So kind of made me, raise an eyebrow a little bit.
Pause, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. And when Jacob Fatu fucking let one of them rounds be real and fire off on your ass, don't say nothing.
Oh man, but does Solo have a chance? I don't know. Everybody keeps fantasy booking the first Netflix show. Maybe we see Dwayne. Is he or isn't he not going to be available for Mania? So if Solo does win, it's going to have to be on some nefarious type of sneaky shit. I don't think he's going to just straight up beat Roman, but I don't know how it's going to play out. So I think there is a chance.
It's tribal combat, so it's clearly like they can say it's going to be one-on-one, but it never fucking is.
Yeah.
Like, Jay and Roman was tribal combat, and fucking everybody. Jimmy interfered. Solo interfered. Like, yeah, I don't get the point of tribal combat when. And wasn't tribal combat? Oh no, it's bloodline rules at WrestleMania.
Yeah, tribal combat was Jay and
Roman
and then I think that the ancestors came out after it. I want to say when they were still living.
No. Tribal combat was Roman and Jay at SummerSlam when they took Jimmy out. And it was supposed to be just one-on-one, no interference, but Solo literally cheated the whole fucking match to where it was 2-on-1. And then right when Jay was about to win, Jimmy came out and turned on him too. So it made no fucking sense. Like, it's supposed to be one-on-one, nobody's involved, and yet everybody cheated.
Yeah. So many variations of matches, kind of hard to keep up with. But
yeah,
I noticed Go ahead.
If Roman wins, like, where does he go? Because Jimmy just came out and cut a promo basically saying, like, he's on his own now.
Well, you almost said the same exact thing I was about to say. I was going to say, I know it's a big deal with the Netflix show being the first one in January 6th, but if Roman were to beat Solo, where would you go from there? So I just can't see him just straight up beating Solo.
Where do you go with Solo if he loses?
Back to the back of the line.
Where you go with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Tonga Loa is on the shelf. So, like, there's going to be fallout from all. Honestly, it makes more sense for Roman to lose.
Yeah. But in what way, though? That's what I'm saying.
Shit, 1, 2, 3.
You know, so
I mean, if you're going to have Solo beat him, just beat him.
I think it'll be Jacob interference. I don't know. I
Like,
feel like something, they
if
got something in the tuck.
Solo is like such an afterthought in all of this. So if you want to make Solo that guy and you're going to have him win, don't have him cheat. Just have him beat him. Make it a good match, a hard fought match, and just have fucking Solo catch him. And he beats him at the end. Now he can say, I beat Roman Reigns. No help, no nothing. Unlike Cody, I beat this motherfucker all by myself. I'm the tribal chief. Roman can fall to the back, do his thing. Rock can come back and take the belt from Cody.
I don't think that's happening. I would be thrilled if it happened, but I don't think that's happening, especially what we saw this past weekend, which we'll get into later. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he beat him straight up. I feel like at WrestleMania, we're going to see, I don't know if we'll see any one-on-one matches, but I think we're going to see some more like variations of OG versus New Bloodline. Maybe even throw Sammy in there again. I don't know what variations. I don't know if someone might get a solo match in there. Maybe Jacob versus somebody. But I don't know what's Tongaloa his status is. You said he's injured. I don't know what kind of injury he had.
I don't know. I just know he hadn't been there since War Games. Him and Tongaloa and
Bronson, I know he had the worst injury.
Bronson Reed got hurt, and then Jimmy broke his toe.
He'll be healed by Mania.
Oh yeah,
6 weeks at the max. But yeah, I don't know Tongaloa, but yeah, that would make Solo strong if he just beat him straight up. But I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. Maybe a slight distraction. Some certain Hollywood guy show up at the top of the ramp, then Solo gets the dump. But wishful thinking.
maybe a wise man interferes on Solo's behalf.
That'd be dope.
Other thing announced for Netflix was CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Now I was a little bit surprised by this because I feel like that was a Mania match. But we know WWE, it could definitely have a wonky finish and go to a rematch. But I get why they're doing it. They want to draw eyes, but Netflix, they don't even, adhere to like the regular rating system. They don't release ratings, so I feel like you could have kept that in the tuck.
Yeah, but you still want. I mean, they'll tell you this is the most streamed movie in the United States this week. Like, they could easily find a way to see how many people watch Monday Night Raw, and if it's a big fucking number, they're gonna brag about it.
Yeah, it's just bragging rights at this point. They locked in for that contract, so it's not like, they get canceled all the ratings we're doing where you got to cancel like you're like a regular network TV show. But I get it, like you said, it looks good if you're the number one trending and you got Seth and CM Punk going at it. But you think somebody's gonna win straight up in this match?
No, Triple H don't book like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the ship has sailed. We probably won't even get that at Mania now. Maybe one of them might be involved with Gunther's title match or whoever's the world champion. We don't even know if Gunther's going to be the champion there. So I feel like the world championship side of things is a little bit, less predictable or harder to map out than maybe even Cody at this point. I don't know.
Speaking of championships, EJ, we have a new, first time ever, WWE Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green.
Yeah, man. I think both of us called it when we were kind of predicting who was going to be the first one. And I feel like it was fitting. She's put the work in. I know it took her winning people over a little bit longer than it did others, but when she was doing her stuff in TNA, that's when I caught notice of her again. Her second stint, I noticed her first stint because that's when I started watching it when she was Laurel Van Ness. But I didn't really see the in ring side of things back then. Then she did a stint in NXT. I didn't give her enough time. But then when she went back and was doing stuff, the Vex stuff with Deanna Perrazzo, and I was like, hey, this girl could actually go in the ring. But she does a good mix of, doing character work and in-ring stuff. I feel like kind of overshadows, but she could go. So they could do like a roundabout way of making her the workhorse, like kind of making not Adam Pearce, what's Nick's last name?
Aldis.
Nick Aldis, yeah, Nick Aldis, like kind of forcing her to be the workhorse. I think that would be funny. But she's being forced in these matches, but then still working her ass off. I think that'd be a fun way to do it.
Yeah, I like Chelsea. I think she's entertaining as hell. She's good enough in the ring. I shouldn't say good enough like it's a bad thing. Like she's good in the ring. Um, but her character work is fucking phenomenal. She got over big time. Like she's supposed to be a heel, but people cheered her when she beat Bailey. You know, like Bailey was just the most over woman star in the company last year when Damage Control turned on her, or when she turned on them, however that fucking went, and she won the title at WrestleMania. And now people are cheering for her to lose versus Chelsea Green, which goes to show how over Chelsea Green got. Like, I loved it. I think she was the perfect person to win it the first time. I did feel bad for Mia Yim because I think, you know, not for nothing, I think Mia Yim's put in a really good year also this year. She hadn't won a lot, but she's there constantly. She's putting on good matches with people. She went back down to NXT and feuded with Jada Parker, did really well with that. Um, so I do think before it's all said and done, I hope she does get a run with the U.S. title. And I'm glad they have a title now to where, because I don't see Mia Yim as a world champion, but I definitely think she should get a run with the U.S. title. Kind of like Thea Trinidad, not Thea Trinidad, what Zelina Vega. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she's eliminated from the Intercontinental title picture right now, but there's no reason why she can't be like the third or fourth champion in the history. Like,
I,
I don't see her as the women's champion, but I could definitely see her as the Intercontinental champion.
I still see Zelina as world championship potential, but after a mid card title run build up. But I don't see Michin uh, ever maybe getting to that level because Zelina's they could switch her heel and she's got good character work, but I don't know. She doesn't seem to be on Triple H's buddy list, but we'll see. But as far as Michin goes, I'm like you said, I think she's gonna be like a good third, fourth U.S. Women's Champion. Or if they transfer, maybe she get the IC title whenever they finish that tournament. I don't know if they have said when the finals gonna be for that. Maybe Netflix.
They haven't, as far as I know, but they are moving right along with that tournament because Zoe Stark moved on last night. Ugh.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be her or Lyra. I think it's gonna be Lyra. Well, Lyra could go, so this is her chance to show that she deserves it. Whoever wins that IC tournament. But the beat goes on, as Macho Man would say.
Well, as Macho Man would also say, the cream rises to the crop. And that is our segue to Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
I almost changed my pick when Liv Morgan came out on Monday Night Raw. Almost. Speaking of Liv Morgan, real quick, before we get to Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, I don't want to see her and Rhea anymore. Like, I'm over it. She already beat her. What are we still doing here?
I think we're getting close to the Judgment Day being blown up, and I'm here for it. They've gotten a longer run than a lot of other factions. Her business, cough cough, but yeah, no, they did what they needed to do. I don't think it'd be a premature breakup. When it's a group like that, you do it to rise people to another level or get them back on track. I feel like Finn's back on track. Dominic is a still won't let them talk. If you watch past Monday, even Raquel's showing a little bit more character. I don't know how much it's done for JD. That's the only one. But Carlito's Carlito. He's already vetted as far as what he's done. So
this could be a bit unpopular. I don't want to see Rhea with the title. I don't want to see her in the title match anymore. Like, what do you like? You put the belt on her and then she just walks around with the belt and doesn't defend it again.
I'm kind of over both of them. Really, I hadn't really been too blown away by Liv's title reign either. She's definitely stepped her character work up because how I felt about Liv in the past. I'll give her that, but I'm still not blown away by this reign. And like you said, I don't really want
on Saturday night.
Yeah, it was solid. I wasn't mad at it. I don't necessarily want to see Rhea. I've never been the biggest Rhea fan. I know you pushed back on her for her 2023, and I'm like, if the fans like it, I guess it's good, but like, I'm not the biggest Rhea fan. I don't know who to give it to. Maybe Eels had the belt. She had the other belt. Eel could work her ass off. I don't know,
I'm cool with just keeping it on Liv for a little while longer. I just don't want to see them two in the program together anymore. Like, it's been going on forever.
I think if she gets it back, it's not going to be till Mania. I say Becky just come back and blow up everybody's plans. Give it back to her.
I'd like that.
But yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what's going to happen?
What's that?
Charlotte's going to come back and get it.
Ugh. Trying to mess up my night, man. By even mentioning her. You had the nonsense of people. You had the nonsense people were trying to troll and say she was going to come back for one of the mid-card belts. I throw up in my mouth a little bit when I was hearing that.
And they would count it as a world title, like they do the NXT belt for her. Trying to get her up to Flair's number.
I'm a nerd about that. I was wondering because they had like stipulations on what constitutes as a Grand Slam champion, but they got to reconfigure that now that they got these mid-card titles. So I'm curious about that.
I just found it weird that they never counted the NXT as a world title win, like for main roster people. It was just you were the NXT champion. But as soon as Charlotte won it, they added it to her total world title reigns. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
They just fucking like do so much shit for her. It's ridiculous. Like, they just force her to be like, whatever. She's not back. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to fucking talk about my disdain for Charlotte Flair when she comes back. But for right now, I don't want to see Rhea and Liv anymore. Like, I'm over it. Liv proved that she can wrestle other people and make a good story with it. Her and Io was decent for the time that it was given. Now it's time for Rhea to go wrestle somebody else that doesn't involve the world title. Go wrestle Dom. Little chicken tender slut.
I don't know if we'll see intergender matches. They could get away with it nowadays, I feel like. But I don't think they will for some
if it's
reason.
Rhea and Dom, though?
Yeah.
Rhea's a woman, Dom's a bitch. Like,
hey. If he smirks Dom's name if he wants, he might show up and it's all Gucci.
Dom's my guy. I'm just bullshitting. I'm sorry, Dom. I didn't mean that, dog.
Okay.
Viva la raza.
But I think they probably maybe will flirt with it a little bit. Maybe not do a outright, intergender. But they need to break them apart, have them do something else. But might be at this point they just tied at the hip. Rock, Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H. And, they go away from each other for a little bit and then come right back.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week was from NXT this past week. She came out to support her tag team friends in the Fatal Influence. What's their name? Fatal Influence?
Fatal Influence, yeah.
She is your North American Women's Champion. She is my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, Miss Fallon Henley.
I can't quite recall what she had on.
You'll find it when you go to do the video for it.
I'm sure I will. My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. I don't know if I've ever done a whole group before, but it's the first time for everything.
Damn.
I'm going with American Made. They had to coordinate. They had to coordinate. They came with the all black get-ups. Ivy now had her black gown on. They had the black suits, all black. They're about business. They're standing on business. They said, y'all think this is over? Alpha American or Alpha Academy? This is not over until we say it's over. Antagonizing those poor guys over there at Alpha Academy. But yeah, American Made, my Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
Power rankings, EJ. We get power rankings in NFL. We'll get the hell up out of here.
Let's see. So my power rankings, but before we get into power rankings, shit, we skipped over the main event of Saturday night's main event. I feel like people probably came here to hear our opinion on that.
Well, that was going to tie into my power rankings, but yeah,
my bad. I didn't mean to cut your legs out because none of them are on my power rankings. But let's get into power rankings. Number five.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Toni Storm returning, and earlier on you did her symbol and you had the glow. I don't know how you did it, but you got it again. Oh man, y'all gotta definitely tune in if you're listening. But yeah, she came back, and I'm thinking we're gonna see her and do a split personality with Timeless. But yeah, she made appearances on all three shows. She did wrestle on Rampage, did it? Who she wrestled on Rampage? I can't remember.
She wrestled Shazza McKenzie on Collision. On Rampage, she fought Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Harley Cameron. I'm sorry, Harley Quinn. That would have been good to see. Harley Cameron.
Yeah, so she doubled back, wrestled twice this week. So that's my number 5.
Love Harley Cameron. I have to say that every week. Like, she is so funny. Like, anytime I'm watching wrestling on like Saturday morning, Sunday morning with my coffee, and I see she's got a backstage promo, like, I immediately stop what I'm doing and fucking go start it over and watch it from the beginning. And it's just like 2 minutes of sheer comedy.
Yeah, I was saying they do have a lot of titles, but I feel like she'd be perfect as like a tag team champion. But I'm sure Tony will probably introduce it sometime. That's what people actually want. The wrestlers have wanted him to make it, and that's the belt he won't make. But he makes other fugazi titles that nobody wants to see. But
I think she'd be good as like a like lucky TBS champion.
She could do that as well.
Like, somebody slips on a banana peel and she beats them, and then she keeps like retaining by just like the dumbest ways possible.
Yeah, I can see that. Whoever beats Mercedes, she could have like a fluke win against them. That'd be dope.
My number 5 was also Toni Storm.
I'm on the same page as that.
My number 4, we can get into that main event now. Still your WWE undisputed champion. Even I don't like complaining about stuff that's so not worth complaining about, but they went out of their way to promote that Cody was going to bring the Winged Eagle title out. Mm-hmm. And he gets out there, EJ, and he's wearing a fucking WWE shop replica. It's not even a real fucking Winged Eagle title.
Really?
Yeah, go back and look at it. It's the fake title. Me and you could get one of those. $4.99. Actually, if you wait, they'll go on sale for like 30% off. It'll be like $3.29 or some shit like that. We can get one sent to our house. That's the same shit Cody was wearing. You have real Winged Eagle titles that you could put. Just put a piece of tape over the F. Or hell, I don't know. We've known Saturday night's main event was going to happen for like months. You couldn't have got one made? You went to WWE's shop and let him bring a fucking Winged Eagle out like that was the real thing? And then when you tweet about it, people are like, y'all just complain about everything. No, we complain about stupid shit.
Hey, you're the title connoisseur. How could you tell? I could like my eyes not that keen. I can't tell replicas and authentic.
You can tell by the color of it. One, the gold is not really gold. You could
Mm,
tell it wasn't real like plated stuff. It was
mm.
the fake shop stuff. Um, the way it was made, the way the front plate was kind of hanging off of the belt, the way the actual belt was, like it just wasn't a real belt. And one of the belt makers that I'm following on Twitter, he said it like right after I did. And I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Because to me, it was like that just looks like a fake belt. Like it didn't look like the real winged eagle. The real winged eagle title, the gold would have been a little lighter. Like if you could go back and look at Bret Hart with the belt, or even the Mortal Racist, like the gold's a different color than what Cody had. Cody's looked more like brass almost.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Just,
just straight up lazy then.
I mean, like you said, like most people don't notice that kind of stuff, but I feel like for everybody that's like, oh my God, it's the winged eagle, you should notice that. Like, if you're gonna be excited about them bringing the fucking belt back, don't let them be lazy. Fucking say something like, this is bullshit. We thought the winged eagle was coming back. What the fuck is that? Goddamn
Yeah,
Cody. Man.
like you said, they had to have mapped it out ahead of time. I don't know why they couldn't get one made. I don't understand that. um, yeah, but people were excited about it, like you said. I don't know what your thought. Besides it being fake, I guess did you like the gravitas behind it?
No, I was never really a winged eagle fan.
Did you? I was more of the Big Eagle fan.
I've come to appreciate that one a little more than I did in previous years. But yeah, I definitely prefer that one over the winged eagle. I don't know. I associate the winged eagle with Hogan, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, I like the Big Eagle fan. I know you're more of a big gold belt over everything, which I
Yeah,
can't
big gold
argue against.
WCW world title was a good one.
For some reason I didn't like that one on the Ron Simmons one like that. I don't know. It didn't look big enough for my liking for some reason.
They were trying to get something close to the winged eagle, basically. They were
Yeah.
trying to make their own title and get away from the NWA world title. The NWA world title is my favorite, but like it's just so big and gaudy back in the day too. But it was like the
That's
belt
what
that
I
I
like.
grew up on. So yeah.
That's what I like about it. And I like 10 pounds of gold. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a dope one too. And I was a real big WCW United States champion fan.
Oh yeah, I like that one
Rick
too.
Rude and Sting had. But yeah. Uh Cody gets the win over KO and then gets attacked with a package pile driver, gets taken out, and the crowd chanting "You deserve it" as Cody's getting his ass kicked. Um, so clearly, this isn't over, EJ. Like, where we going with this? How'd you like the main event? One, did the right guy win? And two, what the fuck now?
I knew Cody was gonna win, but I was like, man, they should just shake it up and break up his title defense because you don't want to put him in that Cena category where he just wins all the time. And we predicted it. Maybe we thought it might happen a little bit sooner. We starting to see slow cracks in this Cody super baby face type thing. Like you said, he got you deserve it chance. They're flirting with it, but Cody, I think he did a recent interview that says that he's still like heel is not any his plans anytime soon or whatnot. That's just not his character. So they're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. I mean, and he was Jesse the Body Ventura. He didn't do a good job of shying away from him doing dirty stuff. He was like, he's cheating with the chair.
He was talking shit about Cody.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just as far as the show overall. I mean, everything was pretty predictable. Like
It was a
you don't want
glorified
to,
house show.
yeah, you don't want, but you see, I'm torn on that because you don't want to do things just to do things just to say you did it if it's not in your plan.
Well,
So,
then
but
don't book a big ass show then if you're not gonna have anything happen on it. That was like a fucking Saudi Arabia show.
yeah, that's a good point. But yeah,
They
I don't
really
know.
just
Go. Yeah.
they really just grabbing money. Like
Yeah.
That's all they're really doing now. They're really just making these big ass shows. Nothing's happening, and they're just taking money.
And they're going to continue to do it because, I mean, you're going to have a little bit. It's like the quiet minority. You have maybe us bring it up here and there. All right. But for the most part, they're still selling all of these tickets and charging however they want for it. And people, for the most part, are giving positive reviews on social media. So they're going to keep doing it. Like you said, it's pretty much a glorified house show. Nothing really happened.
Like, nigga, I'm all elite now.
Like I could have.
I'm like Toni Storm.
Toni Storm is now all elite. That's hilarious. But yeah, I of course I gotta watch the show because we do a podcast. But I could have missed it and not missed anything. I could have caught that clip on Twitter and whatnot and been caught up. Him getting packaged powder roof.
Yeah, it wasn't even on the show. That happened after.
Yeah, that happened afterwards. So yeah, it just just keep on churning. But I don't know where you go with. Like, where do you even go? I'm sure he's gonna be out to the Royal Rumble. And did you see the story that Kevin Owens is gonna be defending the Winged Eagle title? I saw it. I can't remember what I saw it on.
No.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was a pretty reliable source for what I saw it from. Too. It was on.
Maybe they'll give him the real title if they see us bitching about it.
Maybe they heard the noise, but that's funny if he does defend it. But yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna probably run it back at the Rumble, and then he probably beat him again. So, like, what are we doing? Are we waiting for Rock to, seat Cody as the champion?
As good as Kevin Owens has been over the years, he's really just a guy to beat when you're the champion.
Pretty much. He had that Universal title run, and that was because Finn was injured. Like, we see how they really feel about him, and I thought he was a Triple H guy too.
Well, he's like 0-8 in his last world title matches. Lost like 3 or 4 times to Roman. He's lost twice to Cody now.
Yeah, at this point, we don't believe you. We need more people. Like, when we see him in the title match, we pretty much know he's gonna lose. But I don't know. He might be a world title guy. Transfer him to Raw. I don't know. But nobody gave him faith of beating Cody, and we saw how it turned out. But I feel like the fans want to see it, like you said. They're saying you deserve it when Cody got hurt.
Who's your number 4?
You already did your number, or your number 4 is Cody. My number 4 is still your women's world champion in AEW, Mariah May, beating Mina in the main event. So shout out to the women for main eventing Dynamite. Main evented a few shows. And then main event SmackDown. Bailey was the last.
The women main evented every television show in wrestling last week.
Yeah, so shout out
NXT, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and I believe TNA also.
Nah, I don't know about Impact. I watched Impact too. I can't remember, but I know as far as the pay-per-view, Nemeth closed it.
Yeah, I think the women did main event Impact. I could be wrong, but I saw that stat was tweeted out by Fightful, I believe.
Yeah, I think they probably did. I can't remember how Impact ended. I can't remember.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how like just a random fucking week during the year, women main event every fucking show? It's not like all these promoters got together and decided that was going to happen. It's just like, I think that's the way it should be. Like,
it should be.
We don't have to force anything, but the most important match tonight is a women's match.
Yeah, like I said, it should just be the norm, and hopefully that's how it goes moving forward. But yeah, Mariah May, my number 4. My number 3, your new world tag team champions, the War Raiders, finally beating Judgment Day. And I've heard like mixed reviews online. Like people are like, these are clearly Triple H guys. Like people weren't that enthusiastic about it. I don't know how you feel about War Raiders.
I'm not a fan of them. I'm glad he ain't got fucking what's her name out there with her dirty ass feet still.
Valhara, Sarah Logan. Yeah. I didn't like the Viking gimmick, but they're back to War Raiders. I mean,
is it Ivar, the bald one, little bald one?
I mean, Eric and Ivar, I don't know which one is which is sad on my part.
Bald one, he got in shape, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
watching that. I was watching that last night. He's lost like 30 pounds probably.
Sarah Logan's hubby.
Yeah, he got himself in shape. He was the one that was injured because they were trying to get Ivar as a singles run and it didn't
Yeah.
work out. So uh
So yeah, it
yeah,
is Eric. Yeah. Who you got for number 3?
my number 3, and still your women's world champion. Anytime you could beat Io Scott, you deserve to be in the top 5 because Io is a wrestler. She ain't a wrestler, she a wrestler. She can wrestle. Liv Morgan.
How about Liv catching live rounds in there too?
Yeah, broke her nose. Or made her nose bloody. I don't know about broke it.
Yeah, they said luckily she avoided the break, but she definitely got her nose busted open. Hey,
My
same
number 2,
ballet.
your new first of all time WWE Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Mm. Can't sing her praises even more, but shout out to her. My number 2 is still your world heavyweight champion, the Ring General Gunther, beating the triple threat match. What do you think about that match? I feel like that was the match of the night, in my opinion.
You know my favorite thing about Gunther? There's a point in every Gunther match where he just decides, I'm about to just try to kill these motherfuckers so they don't kick out. Like, he just powerbomb Priest on the steps, then immediately jumps in the ring and just tries to kill Finn Balor and pins him. Like, I don't need a finishing move. No, I'm just gonna hit these motherfuckers till they don't kick out. That's my finishing move. Like, I've said this a million times about Gunther, just like the urgency he has when he like smells blood in the water in the match, that makes it real. Like, he don't fucking pose to the crowd, ain't no getting on the rope like L.A. Knight, yeah, and all the shit that other people do when they have somebody down. Gunther's like, oh, you down? You mean you like down? Shit. I'm about to powerbomb the shit out of you and then pin you. And I love it. Gunther's like we talked about Io being a wrestler, Gunther's a wrestler.
Yeah, he wrestling his ass off, and I think he's probably back on track because he lost his confidence a little bit, and it's definitely will jumpstart your confidence. But well, where you even go with Damian and Finn from here, I guess.
Beefing with each other again.
I'm tired of that.
I want to see that even less than I want to see Liv and Rhea.
Jeez. Hopefully, man, some things get shaken up in this transfer portal, but guess we gotta wait and see. Number 1 was your number 2, Chelsea Green, your new Women's United States Champion.
My number 1 was your number 2, Gunther.
See, all worked out nicely.
We can get to the NFL real quick, EJ, and get up out of here. We're running long.
Yeah, man. So I don't know how your strategy is gonna be from now on. I don't know if you're just gonna just pick against me just to go against the grain, just say fuck it, or just pick the save, your record, have a respectable record. Because last week didn't quite work out for you again. You went 9-4. I went 13-3. Hold up, excuse me. I was reading up the tallies wrong. You went 9-7, and I went 13-3.
I think you cooking the books, EJ.
I dropped the picks in all the chats. You can look at what you picked. You picked against your Falcons. I feel like you pick against some of your teams to be spiteful.
The Falcons aren't my team.
I didn't say your team. If I did, I meant some of these teams just to be spiteful.
No, I thought the Raiders would win, and they almost did.
And then, like, you picked against the Packers for some I don't know. Some reason you like the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm off that bandwagon.
You picked the Dolphins. Like, I'm not cooking the books. And then, and I even mentioned about you picking against the Chiefs, and you still did that. You picked Jameis Winston for some reason. So, not cooking.
The Chiefs have not scored 30 points this year.
Well, winners win.
What was the score of that game?
Man, it's a little small. What is the score in this? It's too. I can't even read it because it's too small.
Didn't Winston throw like a pick at the end when they had a chance to either tie it or win it?
He always throws picks.
That's not my point. The point is you act like it was a crazy pick to pick against the Chiefs, and it really wasn't. The Chiefs have been skating by the skin of their teeth all year. I'm gonna pick against their ass this week too. Now I am getting spiteful.
It's the Browns though. That's the only reason. And it's Jameis Winston. No disrespect, because he's a character, but
these motherfuckers are 13-1, and they haven't scored 30 points one time this year.
They just know how to win. They just know how to win. But let's get into these picks this week. Oh shit, I might pick against the Chiefs this week. I don't know what his status is. I don't know what Mahomes' status is, but I don't know. But Thursday night, before we get to that, Broncos at Chargers. The Chargers are favorites in this one, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos. The Chargers are the favorite in this one.
Can I tell you?
I
made a parlay bet when I was in Colorado. I picked 11 games. I bet $5 to win $1,200. The Chargers and the Steelers were the two that I got wrong. The two last games on the 4 o'clock window. The Chargers couldn't even beat the fucking Buccaneers.
Baker was cooking. I picked the Chargers to win that game, too. Baker was cooking.
I mean, the Chiefs won 21-7, but like it wasn't like they just beat the shit out of the Browns. So yeah, fuck the Chargers. Give me the Broncos.
Texans at Chiefs. I'm almost inclined to pick the Texans, but for some reason I'm not completely sold on them. So I'm gonna stay with the Chiefs train.
I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Steelers at Ravens, and look like Russ finally ran out of juice against the Eagles. Give me Ravens.
Kansas City's got a 2-game lead over Buffalo, so yeah, I think they might sit Mahomes this week. Give me the Ravens also. Fuck the Steelers.
Hold on. Make sure I got you down for that. Bucks traveling to our Dallas Cowboys. Man, I don't even know. This is what I was worried about. Like, you're probably not gonna make the playoffs, and now they're starting to win some games and fucking up the pick. Like, I'm not gonna root against my team to lose, but if y'all didn't try as hard, I wouldn't be mad at that. But I got the Bucks in this one.
I hate to say it, man. If they would have, like, I shouldn't say if they would have won. They beat Cincinnati. The guy just fucked up. Like, they would recover that fumble in field goal range already, and they'd win that game. They'd be 7-7 right now and like tied for the last playoff spot, I think, or at least like one game out. Now they literally have to win out, and a bunch of people else got to lose. But if they would have won that one game against Cincinnati, they pretty much have their fucking control of their own destiny, because they got to play Washington again, and they'd be Washington would be 2 games ahead of them, but I don't know, man. That Cincinnati game fucked everything up, because honestly, we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But looking back on that Cincinnati game, that's going to cost them going to the playoffs. And if McCarthy would have gotten them to the playoffs with all the injuries that they had, and Jerry still would have fired him,
then you want to get into the 7th seed, and then what? Be like the
I'd rather go to the
Giants.
playoffs and have a shot just to see for fun than not go to the playoffs. Like, I'm always for my team making the playoffs, whether I think they can win it or not, because you never know when you get there. And honestly, the way their defense is playing now, who the fuck knows?
Well, at this point, you're not going to get like a top 2 pick, so like you said, that Bengals game. After that, you should have just tried to make a push, but now you like it's stuck in no man's land in purgatory.
I got the Cowboys.
Giants at Falcons.
I'm going to this game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my job gave me free tickets to it, so I got the Falcons.
Sound like you didn't want to pick them. You like, I got the Falcons.
I didn't.
Man, I didn't know you were that against the Falcons.
I don't like them.
I got the Falcons as well. Lions at Bears.
The Lions, they'll be pissed off.
Yeah, they were like getting their ass kicked by the Bills, but they almost came back. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the score. So I don't know if it was like garbage time where they put on point. But I got the Lions as well.
Is it me or the Lions just become like unlikable? Like they went from last year being the team that it's like, oh, what a great story, to this year I'm just like, man, fuck the Lions.
I don't maybe feel that way because in the NFC, I don't really have any. They've been losers for most of my life after Barry Sanders, man.
Honestly, like I'm looking at the NFC playoff picture, there's nobody to like cheer for. Like I hope they all lose.
I think you just saying as
the
a Cowboys
Bucks are the
fan.
most like. I'll cheer for the Rams. I like the Rams.
And they're not like guaranteed to make it. They're still pretty much neck and neck because the NFC West only getting one person in the.
No, they'll have two. Yeah, you're right. They'll have. Well, they could. Somebody could overtake Washington at the end because Seattle and the Rams are both 8-6 and Washington's 9-5.
True. I feel like Washington's better than. I don't know. The Rams are a weird team because when they're playing good, but then they're like shit the bed. I have more faith in them than the Seahawks. I don't know.
I hope the Rams and the Seahawks win. That way, I'll have two teams to cheer for. Because I wouldn't mind seeing Minnesota win, but also like fuck the Vikings. Like I don't like their fans. I don't like them. They have some cold ass uniforms on last night though. But yeah, it's just there's nobody in the NFC I would cheer for besides the Rams. I definitely ain't cheering for the Eagles. The Bucks are trash. Like they ain't going anywhere. Fuck the Packers. Fuck the
I don't know, man. The Bucks might get hot and go on a little run. You never know.
It doesn't matter. Whoever comes at it. I think the AFC's taking it this year. It's either going to be Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. Like one of them three are winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's why they play the games. Browns at Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, I got the Bengals as well. Titans at Colts. That should be an interesting one. Give me Colts.
Colts.
Rams at Jets. I got the Rams.
Rams also.
Oof. Eagles at Washington. I'm surprised this is a 12 o'clock game. Or at 1 o'clock on your side. I got Eagles though.
And see, this is what I meant. Dallas wins against Philly. Or I'm sorry, Cincinnati. They're 7-7 right now, right? The Eagles are going to beat Washington. Washington should have lost last week to fucking Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, New Orleans. And then you look up and Cowboys win this week and Philly beats Washington. And now the Cowboys are one game behind Washington. They play them next week. Like, this all fucking mapped out great had they just recovered that fucking fumble. Or just left it alone. But that's the season. You know, I had given up on it anyway. So it's kind of like, it's par for the course this year. But give me Philly.
Cardinals at Panthers. I got Arizona.
Yeah, the Panthers did not look good this past week. I'll take Arizona also.
And I'm like, man, Rucker should have went to the game.
No.
But
I literally got back from the airport like 3 minutes before the game started.
Vikings at Seahawks. Seahawks kind of need this game.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna get it. Give me Minnesota.
Yeah, I got it. I got Minnesota as well. Patriots at Bills. I got Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Man, it's not like a lot of exciting games this week.
Mm-mm.
Jags at Raiders.
Shh. Give me the Raiders.
I'm gonna go Jags just for shits and giggles. 49ers at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I got Miami. And to cap it all off, Monday Night Football. New Orleans going to the tundra of Lambeau Field to face the Packers.
Green Bay.
I got Green Bay as well. This is like the weird time of year, right before holidays. Not a lot of exciting games, but you know how they get down for week 18. Even though we're a couple weeks from that, where all divisional matchups. But yeah, not a whole lot of shit going on this week.
Well, that's all we got, EJ.
Yes, sir.
You got anything you want to say if we get up out of here?
Nah, like shout out to everybody listening, and you know, got the holidays coming up. Happy holidays. We got one more show before Christmas, so we'll be back to wish everybody
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so we'll be back for that. But you know, shout out to everybody listening.
Well, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. Like he said, thanks for listening. Tell all your friends about it. Leave us a rating, a review, subscribe, the whole nine. This has been Boot to the Face. Until next week. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.